My 36F best friend Amy, 37F, just got married last week. I was her maid of honor, and I worked to the bone to make sure her wedding was a success. For the most part, it did went well. My friend looked beautiful, the food was great, the flowers and decorations incredible. She was so happy, and it made me feel proud I was part of the group that worked to give her such an important day. Amy and I have been friends since we were in elementary school. We've reached all our milestones since together, went to the same college, even live in the same neighborhood. She's the closest I have to a sister, and even our parents joke we're reborn twins. Needless to say, Amy is one of the most important people in my life. At the end of my master's, I met Danny, 31M. He hired me as a tutor and after a few sessions asked me out. I had never dated someone younger, but he was very sweet and I liked him, so I said yes. We've been together since. He had an older brother, Bobby, 39M, who was introduced to Amy in a house party I hosted a few years later. The two were immediately taken with each other, and they started to date. Eventually, Bobby asked Amy to marry him. During the wedding preparation, Danny casually mentioned how it would be a cute idea to propose during his brother's wedding. Bobby agreed, but both Amy and I immediately shut it down. I told Danny I found that kind of thing tacky. A person's wedding is a special day for them, and tainting it with stealing the attention was just wrong. After that, they stopped talking about it, so we kept going with the preparations. At the wedding reception, Bobby suddenly stopped the music to make an announcement. He said the day was very special as he was marrying the love of his life and kept singing praises to Amy. I thought it was a cute gesture, so I just moved to sit on my chair to listen to the speech. Then Bobby said a sentence that made me dread what was coming, and now the day is more special thanks to my brother's announcement. Suddenly, Danny was in front of me, kneeling with a box. Amy was in tears and ran out. I screamed at Danny, telling him he was a jerk, and went after Amy. At first, she was angry at me, think I was involved in it. So were the other bridesmaids. Thankfully, one of the girls had seen me call out Danny and told the others about it. I told Amy I would never do this to her. We hugged and we all got out of the venue to Amy's suite. We found out later through the men's mother that Bobby gave Danny permission without speaking to Amy about it. I called Danny that same night to tell him we were through and I wanted him out of my apartment by the end of the week. I sent my mom to pick up my dog and parrot just to make sure he didn't do anything to them or take them with him. He ended up taking my TV and game consoles. I had them since before he moved in, but his mother was nice enough to bring the consoles back. For all I care, he can keep the stupid TV. Amy is now trying to get her marriage annulled since she feels she can't trust Bobby. The boy's mother has been nothing but a saint to us. She even paid back to Amy the money she spent on the wedding and told her to use the honeymoon with one of her friends. So Amy and I are now packing to go to Australia. She and Bobby had postponed it for a month so they could get a whole month of vacation. I am a freelancer that works from home, so I'll just take my laptop. Since this whole fiasco, Danny has been blowing up my phone. Some of his friends have joined in this too, claiming I'm in a hole for throwing out a 10 years relationship over a mistake. That he only wanted to make a cute gesture to prove how much he loves me. Except the cute gesture was taking over my best friend's wedding after I had said how much I dislike that kind of stuff. Still, a part of me feels I'm overreacting.
Comment 1. NTA, they made you and Amy props in their show. Bobby and Danny are the types that don't value the personhood and preferences of others. They expected you, and Amy, to melt under the romantic gesture like a crappy romantic movie. Gross. Did they learn this from TV? Fortunately not from their mother, she sounds like a legit gem. Mama, she won't get to be your mother-in law. Comment 2. If you were together 10 years, then this is a last straw situation. This can't possibly be the only thing. And if she is trying to get her entire marriage annulled because she can't trust him, there were way bigger problems already. Sounds like a lot of drama and no communication. Bobby seems like the culpable one here. But going scorched earth over a proposal at their wedding seems like overkill. Comment 2. NTA. He does not listen. And public proposals should always be declined. There is a lot of public pressure for a private question. I guess staged proposal ceremonies are a thing now, but those should only occur after marriage has been agreed to in private. My life feels like a bad drama show at the moment. For some context, me 33M and my wife, 30F, have been married for 7 years and what I thought was our daughter is 3. Looking back, this all started after my wife gave birth to her daughter. She suddenly became a lot more affectionate to me, was a lot more active with me in the bedroom life. She also made my favorite desserts a lot more often. She is a fantastic baker. I of course didn't suspect anything, since even prior to her pregnancy there were no signs of cheating, but also possibly could be that just didn't look close enough into it. Well, this whole fiasco started 2 weeks ago after a day out with her daughter, and she just sat me down in the evening and came clean about the fact that her daughter wasn't mine. Her waterworks of course also started, and apparently it was a guy from the gym, and it lasted a month before he disappeared on her after he found out she was pregnant. Honestly, even typing this now I feel like crying, since I thought I did everything perfectly but she still cheated. As much as I wish I could say I had a stone face or something, I just started crying and she tried to comfort me, but I just pushed her away. I felt so disgusted with her. After I had calmed down a bit, I just grabbed my jacket and left for a hotel, and while I was leaving she just begged and pleaded me to forgive her and that I was the only father her daughter knew. After crying myself to sleep in the hotel the next day, after I turned my phone back on, I had seen she had blown up my phone and I didn't read any of it and just blocked her. After having a little bit of breakfast, contacted a lawyer to start the divorce process, and at work I just asked for some time off and my boss gave me a month off. By the evening my mom and sister were calling me on her behalf and were on her side, and that just hurt me even more. While I'm not proud to admit this, I did drink myself to sleep that night. After that night I started staying with my best friend, and my mom and sister kept spamming and calling me. A few days later, after she probably got the divorce papers, my mom just sent me a long text that, to summarize, was that I should step up and forgive her and not abandon my daughter, and that she vowed to disown me if I went through with the divorce. My sister and mom are against me divorcing her, but my best friend and his wife are saying I have the right to not want to be with her or take care of her kid. I'm split on this. On one hand, I did raise the baby for 3 years. On another, I don't know if I could in the right mind raise the reminder of my wife, her affair. Edit 1. To put some context, my sister is infertile, so I think that's also partly why my mom doesn't want me to continue the divorce, since she will lose her grandchild. Comment 1. You are not wrong, OP. She only stopped the affair because he split after finding out she was pregnant, and only after a month, she was already sleeping with him without protection. I smell bullshit. What would she have done if he has taken responsibility for the child? Most likely run off with Jim Guy. You are her backup after he left her. I'm sorry this happened to you. You can still be in the child's life, but I would get into therapy before making any other decisions, but the divorce is 100% justified. NTA. Comment 2. What a grade A witch. She knew all this time and conned you into raising her affair daughter for 3 years because her gym buddy ditched her. The baby will always be a reminder of the affair, which isn't fair on either of you. Don't let these people guilt trip and blackmail you into this. What happens when the father comes back and mom opens her legs for him again? Run away from this mess seriously. A coworker invited me to a housewarming party. He bought a really nice house with a large yard, a pool, and even a waterfall flowing into the pool. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily friends with him, but we're friendly and make small talk when we see each other. We don't really hang out by ourselves. He's a nice guy, but we don't have too many interests. He told me I can bring my girlfriend. At that party I knew about 3 out of the 40 people there. At the party my girlfriend began complaining to me about the food options, saying they don't follow her diet, she can't eat them, the host should have gotten better food, the paintings on the wall are tacky, his furniture sucks, that the music is pretty lame, and a bunch of other ridiculous complaints. We live in Sao Paulo at the moment, but we're from a region in southern Brazil where most people speak Hunsrück, which is a type of German, though it's a bit distinct from standard German. Someone from Germany wouldn't understand everything I say. She complained in Hunsrück, assuming that everyone at the party only knew Portuguese, but my coworker was near us and he said what I guess is standard German: "I'm sorry, we don't have any food that fits your dietary restrictions. If you are hungry, there is a store about 400 meters from here. It closes in an hour. I'm sorry you don't appreciate the music selection. Would you like to play something?" My girlfriend looked shocked, her jaw dropped, and she just stuttered for a bit. A few people snicker in the back and another guy translates what happened and she responded back in Portuguese, "How do you all know German?" I had no idea, and my coworker explains he and 3 other people in this party used to work in Germany and that's how they know each other. My girlfriend pulled me aside and said she's so embarrassed and wants to go home. I told her no, I'm having a good time here, and she's begging me to bring her back, saying she's so embarrassed and she can't handle this, and I told her she shouldn't talk shit about people and she's getting what she deserved. This broke out into a screaming match. She demanded I give her the car keys and I refused. We stayed at the party for another 2 to 3 hours. She talked to some other girls but was kind of quiet. On the ride home we got into another argument where she says I should have taken her side, and I unleashed a lot of my frustration onto her, saying she is actually the one causing embarrassment by insulting my coworker. She blamed me for not telling her he speaks German. I told her that wasn't relevant and I never thought to bring it up. I honestly didn't know he spoke it that well. He just briefly mentioned living in Germany once at a meeting. Comment 1. NTA. At the end of the day, she did play a stupid game and won a befittingly stupid prize. At least it's just embarrassment. From the context provided, it doesn't seem like anyone else made a big deal about the things she said. I don't think you should be obligated to take her side, being that she was the cause of the embarrassing moment. Also, saying rude things expecting nobody to be able to understand her makes her the emo. Comment 2. Your NTA. Your girlfriend is incredibly rude and hopefully taught herself an important lesson about talking smack and insulting her host. Or anyone else, for that matter. Better think about that little glimpse into your future if you choose to stay with that woman. Comment 3. Yes, honestly, break up with her. It's not just embarrassing herself, it is embarrassing you in front of your colleagues, people that are part of your career and livelihood. She seems like a miserable person and someone that can't be made happy, but also can't bear being polite for the entirety of a party, all while being extremely judgmental. She showed her true colors. I, 29F, recently got married, and my friend Lily, 28F, is getting married in a few months. We've been friends since college, and I always considered her to be close. However, during my wedding planning, she made several comments about my wedding dress that really hurt me. She said it wasn't flattering and that she didn't like the style. It wasn't just a one-time comment, she brought it up several times, making me feel self-conscious about my choice. Despite this, I tried to stay positive and not let her comments affect me. A few weeks ago, Lily reached out and asked if I could help cover part of her wedding dress cost. She explained that she was having financial trouble and any help would be greatly appreciated. Since we're friends and I genuinely want to support her, I agreed to help. However, she insisted that I see the dress before I finalized my contribution. When she showed me the dress, I was taken aback because it was very similar in style and color to my own wedding dress. I didn't say anything negative to her at that moment, but I felt really uncomfortable. Given her previous comments about my dress, it was hard for me to overlook the fact that she chose something so similar. I started to question whether I should be financially supporting something that seemed so parallel to what she had criticized. After some reflection, I decided to withdraw my offer to help with the cost. I sent her a message explaining that I was having difficulty with the situation, given her past comments about my dress. Lily was furious and accused me of being petty and unsupportive. She said I was making her special day about myself and that I should be more understanding. Now, I'm feeling conflicted. On one hand, I want to be supportive of my friend and recognize that she's in a tough spot financially. On the other hand, I'm struggling with the way she's treated me and the similarity in the dresses. AITA for withdrawing my offer to pay for her wedding dress after her criticism of mine. Comment 1. Given the situation, I'd say your NTA. You went above and beyond to help out, covering unexpected expenses and assisting with logistics, all while following their request not to bring a gift. Your request for reimbursement for food, which benefited everyone at the event, seems fair, especially considering you were effectively helping to host. The reaction from your friend and the groom was disproportionate and hurtful, showing a lack of appreciation for your efforts. Comment 2. Some people who are very rich stay that way because they take advantage of other people. Like making them buy food for a whole group. Do you really want these people in your life for them to continue to take advantage of you? It will now always be at the back of your mind. NTA. Comment 2. NTA, I have a feeling that she may have made all of those remarks to you about your choice in the hopes that you may feel poorly enough about the dress that you would choose something else so that she could wear a similar dress at her wedding without looking like a copycat. This person's not your friend. She tore you down instead of building you up for an important event in your life. Don't pay for her dress. Cut ties. Find friends who are actually happy for you during your milestone moments. Comment 3. Okay, I need y'all to understand that helping friends financially with luxuries is not a thing. It's not a fucking thing. You either have the money for a wedding, or you don't. Parents and rich aunts might be inclined to contribute, and that's fine and nice of them. Asking a friend to pay for your wedding dress is so ridiculous I can't even describe it. NTA, but seriously,